Hello and welcome to Grimworks Productions 40K, Warhammer 40K, Age of Sigmar, Shadespire, all that bullshit. Podcast, Perils of the Warp. This is episode 16. I will be your host today, Roman, and to my right I have...
The Lost Primarch Steve.
Alright, and John is now lost in the warp, so he'll hopefully be back next week, but we do have a guest. He wants to be called the CEO of Grimworks. Tony?
Yay, it's Tony.
He's not even paying attention.
I was waiting for you to say the Warhammer podcast, but you kind of went on a slippery slope.
What you said?
I was like, all right.
Yeah, that's me.
Right.
I'm one big slippery slope. Well, I guess the main topic that we'll get into is the GT, but before we do that, I kind of want to talk hobby progress.
We didn't last time.
Because,
we really didn't last time.
We were just like, no, because we were going to cover it at the end and we immediately ignored it. So let's go ahead and go into hobby progress. Mark, do you want to start?
I haven't had much hobby progress last. Oh, no, I did. Because not the last one, but the one before that, I think I was working on the Lysander model. And then that got pushed to the back burner. I was like, oh, man, I got to deal with all this resin stuff and got to chip off all the little pieces. I was like, I'll deal with it later. But now I'm focused all my sights on. I should have focused on my Razorback. It all has the primer on there. And I was like, I'll get to that eventually. It's like, should I work on my troops that I'd never touch at all? Nah, I'll get to that later. What I really need to get to, because for some reason I really want to work on it, is the Storm Talon.
So a plane that you can't take unless you have like a good-sized army. You're like, yeah, fuck everything that I need for a basic army.
I need to work on this fucking plane. And not just so much like I need to work on this fucking plane. Yeah. I need to work on the fucking cockpit of this plane for a whole week.
I told you, right? Because you have a problem with finishing things. It's all psychological.
Yeah. I opened up myself a little bit to Tony, explaining the process of fixing the plane, because I was like, I got to fix the cockpit because he's going to be closed off. And when I primed the whole plane, which is not even built at the time, the cockpit was done, everything. So I painted all of it up, explained to Tony why this and that, and this is why I colored in this color.
Yeah. Yo, kudos on the great detail you go for.
Thanks. I try. I try.
It was like dumb detail.
I try to go all out just for myself, because I know I'll probably be the only one.
Exactly.
That will know, like, I did that. And I even told him, I was like, I'm trying not to be too super anal about this. I was like, because there's little pieces in there that you don't see at all. Yeah. But I know that I didn't paint.
He proved that point. So I was admiring his little cockpit, and he was saying, I was like, damn, dude, this really looks really good. I was pointing out all the detail he did, like he got all the buttons, and he had all the little lights and stuff, the highlights on his helmet. I was like, it's pretty good. And then he comes in and he's like, yeah, but there's a cog there.
On his knee.
On his knee that's not colored, and I'm not liking it. I was like, what cog? So I looked at it closer, and I was like, he didn't paint it. And then from there on, we kept looking at it, and it was like, dude, that cog is just screaming at me. Like, why am I a different color? Why didn't you paint me? And I was
exactly.
Like, I see it now.
And then I showed him, I'm like, look, this is how he's going to look once you put the plane all around him. You're not even going to see it. Yeah. But now that you know, and I know, we know. And then after that, after I was done just painting that little piece of itself, I stopped and like, I'm calling it. This is done. The little part is done. No more painting. And then I look at the background and I colored it black. I was like, fuck, I should really color the floor black. Oh, man, it's going to fucking bother me. I was like, nope, I already called it. Yeah. I already put my foot down. Daddy put his foot down. No more painting.
Then 2 weeks later, he sends me a picture. He's like, I painted it black.
No, I didn't paint it black.
Okay, here's what you have to do. Because I did the same thing with my Nephilim, my jet fighter. It's the same thing. I put it because... They didn't say there was. They didn't give you any mechanical parts like for the Tech Marines that drive it. Yeah, it's just the Raven Guard. So he's black, and like the inside is like black. It's all black, and there's very little color. Yeah. Right. I painted some screens green, like base green, some like base reds, some base yellows, kind of thing like that. And then to prevent myself, I just fucking sealed it.
Yeah, that's what I gotta do.
Yeah, you just gotta glue it. Use your PVA glue.
Yep.
Don't use your super glue. Don't use nothing because it'll fog it up. Use your Elmer's glue.
Mm-hmm.
Just use some Elmer's glue. Boom, boom, boom. Lock it in place. Don't touch it. And then when you're gonna paint it, and just mask off your little window, and then go ahead and do everything else.
Yep.
Because it's gonna fucking eat at you, and you're gonna want to fucking
pop it off, and then gonna trust me. I'm not doing it. I already fucking called it. It's done.
Yeah.
I built the plane after that. I primed it all up. The thing is glued in the fucking plane. I just got to put the glass over it.
Yeah.
I'm not touching it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all primed black, even though it's the Imperial Fist. It's the fifth company, so it's gonna be like part black, part yellow. Because that's what I did with the Razorback. The Razorback's like mostly black with hints of yellow. I try to do like an opposite kind of. Yeah. So that's mostly it. And then I just gotta, like I said, I'm trying to finish up the troops. It's just 5 troops.
Okay.
And then I had 5 more troops that just trying to fucking shell out.
Right.
Those extra 5s are not gonna be they're not a must right now, but I know eventually I'm gonna need 10 dudes.
Fair enough.
And then
and you're doing all these in Imperial Fist?
Yeah, Imperial Fist.
Okay.
So they're not going to have like all their markings done, but hopefully they'll be able to have at least the fist part on them. If not, the standard yellow, fine. Hit them with black for the stripes.
Yeah.
It's good. The next plan is to make some Devastators and some Assault Marines. And I was thinking about maybe getting an extra Assault Marine thing, or maybe go and look for a jetpack, because I have an extra just regular chaplain. I'm just thinking about just throwing a fucking assault pack on, like the jetpack on that chaplain.
Yeah, I bet.
So that's future progress, but I'm still trying to think, and I'm trying to think of something a little more. What would in the Imperial Fist use for, like, say, Devastators? Brings up some things, so maybe some heavy bolters, las cannons, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Devastators is, like, they use whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's just whatever the mission calls for, they pick up the gun and they fucking go. So, you don't have to worry about, like, do they have to be heavy bolters? Just whatever you think would be cool looking.
Yeah.
So, like, with mine, I made a mistake, and this is something you should never do, so it's a cautionary tale.
Okay.
I went to one of the local shops here in San Antonio, Multiversity, and they have their Bits thing.
Yeah.
And they had their Bits of Palooza or Bits Apocalypse, whatever they called it. I found like 5 heavy bolters, or 4 heavy bolters, 4 las cannons, 4 plasma cannons. Like, I found everything. And I'm like, that's it. They're done. I'm just going to paint them up my Dark Angels, and those are my Dark Angels. Like, I can use whatever I need. Then I realized, I was like, it's cool to have everything, but I probably only need plasma because they can use weapons of the Dark Age and fuck shit up more. So I don't know.
So you have all these extras that you'll probably never use.
That I'll probably never use.
Why don't you just try to throw them in together with something a little different, mix it up a bit?
That's what I'm saying. I should probably just paint them up and then just be like, hey, take 2 las cannons and 2 heavy bolters.
See, I think I might do that. I picked up I found a missile, like a missile launcher dude, just because. So since I already have the set, I think I'm just going to do like 2 las cannons, maybe 2 heavy bolters, extra missile. Just have maybe like 2 of each.
Yep.
Just in case. And then when I start, kind of going and figuring out how I like to play, then
go ahead and just buy 2 extra ones.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Good idea.
That's what I try to do. And then I try not to think too ahead, because I saw some dude, he's like, oh man, I use the fucking Imperial bunker, and it makes sense because Imperial Fists like to fucking fortify. I'm like, that's right, they do. Damn right. I want an Imperial bunker.
That's how this game gets you.
Huh? Yeah.
Like,
When you start,
there's like one real cool thing, you're like, I need it.
especially when it makes sense to your fucking chapter, you're just like, oh fuck yeah, that's right, they would love that.
Yeah, especially like, when you find your chapter and you know their lore and you know what their tactics were.
See, and that's what I dove way too deep into it, and I'm just like, well, it makes sense to have these guys.
If that's your kind of game, you might want to drop 40K and just go to Heresy. Because Heresy, like, from what I've heard like a few different podcasts about Heresy.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pretty anal about that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Like, if shit doesn't make sense, you have to make it either a story to back it up. But most of the time, like, it's more fluff than anything else.
Okay. See,
So,
I like the sound of that, but I don't know if I'd be a dick to someone and be like, why the fuck they have that?
mm-hmm.
Why does that guy have 2 fucking plasma pistols? Explain that to me. I don't think no one would ever do that, just regular 40K, but...
I know there's a model that has Volkite chargers and it's 2 Volkite fucking bolters.
So you had to explain the models on the table before you play?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like in Horus Heresy, because it's like the way that people look at it, it's like it's a historical game
Yeah.
based on a fictional universe.
game.
So, like, a lot of people will be like, if they have like the Aquila, like it's on all the Space Marines on 40K. It's a 2-headed eagle, right? Well, the only ones that were ever allowed to use that during the during that time, the Horus Heresy was Emperor's Children. So, like, if you're like a Dark Angel like me, and you have an Aquila in a Horus Heresy game, people might point that out like, you should probably change that.
You should tell you you're doing gaming wrong.
Yeah, you're fucking having fun wrong. So, I don't know.
It sounds cool, but at the same time,
it sounds like, I don't know if, I hope not everybody's like this. And I talked to Trent about it, and he's like, not everybody's like this. Especially down here, nobody's like that
super
bad about it.
Yeah.
But if you go to like a big thing,
Go to like the Tennessee Con, and you're just like, no, you can't have that, boy.
Yeah, if you go to like Adepticon, or you
Yeah.
go to like LVO, when you join those tournaments, they're gonna be like, no.
Wrong Aquila, wrong skin, one more strike. me and my friend gonna drag you.
you mean the skin on my army, right?
Whatever, boy.
Sunday a wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Sunday a wall appears at the fucking tournament.
So yeah, but yeah, good. Anything else?
No, that's it. That's pretty much hoggy progress.
Yeah.
My hoggy proggies.
So as you just keep doing the same and wanting some more.
Yeah, I keep starting new shit that I shouldn't be touching.
Yeah.
When I should be working on fucking troops and.
Everybody has that ADD.
Yeah.
I did open my Grey Knights box. I just opened it.
Oh, you just
That's
to
my
say.
hobby
I'm,
project.
Just to
I'm
smell
counting
it.
as hobby progress.
Well, I mean, I've given up on everything else. My Age of Sigmar doors, or what is it called? What are they called? The doors?
Oh, the steampunk dwarfs.
Yeah, the
I
steampunk
forgot
doors.
what their names were.
They are called the.
The steampunk doors.
Yeah,
Something with a K.
I thought it was an E.
Anyways.
I have no idea.
That's
So,
that's an angry comment from Trent.
Kiradran Overlords.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, it
yeah,
is
you're
a K.
right,
Yeah, you're right.
Boom.
Boom.
Anyways,
What about you, Roman?
As for me,
You have a lot of progress. I feel like you're always sending me something new.
yeah. Okay, this is a little bit of foreshadowing. For the main topic, I will not be able to attend the GT, which really bummed me out. I won't get into the reasons why. It's just some work-related things. So it really bummed me out. And I was telling these guys before, I was like, hey, I got a perfect thing. I'm working on my 40K at night after work. And then during work, because I have so much downtime, because I'm waiting for orders. I'm a driver, so I'm waiting for orders a lot. I brought my Age of Sigmar stuff, and I started painting up my my Stormcast. So all this week, I had them primed already. I had them primed black. So I just I had them primed black.
Which,
and
by the
based.
way, awesome weather finally for priming.
Yeah.
Except for yesterday. But
Yeah.
this past couple of weeks been awesome weather for priming. We never get that.
Yeah, San Antonio was just too goddamn humid.
Yeah.
But I had them already primed and based because me and John were supposed to play a game on Monday.
Test it
And
out.
If you listen to City this week, I'll tell you the reason why we didn't play AOS.
Ooh.
But I had them based, and then I kind of want to start painting these so I can at least have a little 500-point army. So that's what I started doing at work. I knew like the way that I did mine. I just dry brush some stuff, then shade it, and then dry brush again.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. So that's what I did. That's what I did at work, and I just started filling in like the blue detail that I use. So I'm actually has some Age of Sigmar progress. Hopefully, I'll be able to play a game soon. And then Mike Blanton said that for sure there is going to be an AOS leak. I'm assuming sometime after the GT. He will actually start releasing some stuff for that. So hopefully I can start playing some more AOS. As for 40k progress, I built some bikes, some Black Knights, and then I started to prime those, and then I stopped progress on them because I won't be able to. I was playing all this for my GT list, not going there, so. It's on the back burner, but I do have a commission because of John. He gave me a Land Raider Crusader and a Predator with las cannons.
Okay.
So
which is surprising. You always talk shit about Land Raiders all the time.
who, me?
No, John.
I don't know. Well, I didn't even know he had Land Raiders because okay, the original thing was we made a handshake deal. He wants to have his Zinch stuff and his
Imperial Guard?
Thousand Suns.
Thousand Suns.
His Thousand Suns and his Zinch Demons, he wants me to paint them.
Okay.
And he goes, just paint them to tabletop. Nothing too bad. And I'll give you, since you wanted, because I wanted to have the 3 Vindicators for the 3 Vindicator list.
Yeah.
So I can just use that bombardment. Then I didn't realize he had Land Raiders. So he had a Land Raider Crusader, which I got.
Oh, okay.
Now.
Okay.
So now I have a Land Raider Crusader.
Okay, I thought you said he wanted to get a Land Raider painted.
No. He had them.
That was a trade.
That was a part of trade. Okay.
Yeah, that was the payment for his AOS. So now I have.
Stuff.
So now I have a Last Pred and a Land Raider Crusader, which is I think the biggest capacity, and I'm gonna paint that bitch up in some Deathwing colors, like that nice bone.
I like that color.
Huh?
I like that color.
Yeah, I'm gonna paint that bone. There's gonna be little accents of Caliban green. Woo, boy! I already have plans for it. Don't even worry about it. But yeah, so that's been my stuff has been put on the back burner. I'm still gonna continue to do AOS at my job because honestly, I just have too much time there. And while I'm at home,
while your boss is like, "Oh, do you now, Roman?
Yeah,
you didn't know I liked Warhammer."
We should have talked to me because I would have got you in. But
you made him seem like the shadow boss of any game. He's always been there, like a shadow boss. He's always been there, and he finally steps in the light. He's like, "I've always been here."
It was always me,
boy.
He's
Gil from fucking Third Strike.
It was always me, boy.
But yeah, that's it for Hobby Progress. I'm just gonna start painting up John's stuff, and hopefully, I can improve on my little on my paintings. And who knows? Maybe I can do a little commission here or there if people like my stuff. But that's not the important thing. I just like painting. But
should do an army showcase.
Maybe. I have a good amount of stuff done, like on my Dark Angels, and they're all base now. They have like a nice bases, and they all look pretty. So we'll see. We'll see how all that happens. But anything else anybody wants to say before we change gears?
No, that's pretty much it. I think I might try to get my girlfriend into it right now since she has downtime too.
Oh, really?
Maybe she likes the Thousand Suns, like the Rubik's Marines, and she likes the whole Egyptian look. Yeah. She likes the Egyptian look, so I was like, maybe I'll just pick up like a fucking squad and like just let her go at it, have fun.
Show her some of the.
Oh, I showed her all of it. I showed her all of everything. Oh, everything. We get there and I try to bring her into the world, and she'll talk. She's like, "Oh, these look cool. I like those." So it was between the Thousand Suns and I want to say maybe the Tau.
Okay.
Maybe no. The Tau, the fish face, whatever, with the Gundam robots and shit. So, but she likes the Thousand Suns a little more, the Rubik. So I don't know. We'll see. But that ends it.
She's a fucking traitor.
Oh yeah, that's gonna hurt.
Fucking, you're in love with the traitor?
I'll
try, bitch.
I'll try to.
That's all. That's Julie right there.
As some people say, Magnus did nothing wrong.
Oh, fuck you! I just finished that book.
Uh-huh.
Everything he did was wrong. Fucking okay.
We're gonna switch gears right now.
All right.
All right, we're going.
Hobby
we're
progress
going
is done. We're going into lore
we're going
now.
to lore.
All right. Everybody that says Magnus did nothing wrong, you clearly did not read these books, right? Because his whole thing was pride.
Okay.
He thought he was smarter than he actually was.
Okay.
The first thing he does is okay. Well, like in a timeline, I guess you could say, he's trying to save his legion, right?
Yes.
Because they have the flesh change.
He kept it away from Airman.
Yes. Okay. Well, the whole thing was he made a deal with fucking demons.
Yes.
So he already fucked up. And then he lies to his whole legion saying like, nah, bro, I fixed it. Fuck that. Like, I did it. I'm the smartest. I did it. Don't worry about it. It's not going to happen again. It happens again. He's like, nah, that's like a freak thing. Don't worry about it. It's cool. And then the demon's like, all right, I got to take my payment now. He's like, no, don't do that. He's like, nah, it's already done. And he fucking wipes out like half his legion to the flesh change. So he already fucked his own legion up. He disobeys his dad constantly. Like, his dad says, okay, if you do the Council of Nicaea.
Yes, I was just looking that up right now.
Okay, so the Council of Nicaea, they accuse, or the trial of Magnus the Red. Mm-hmm. Okay. They go through the whole thing. The Emperor says, if you do this again, if anybody, we're going to disband the Librarius cults. Mm-hmm. They're done. If anybody does turn back to those, you'll be considered my enemy, and I will strike you down. He's basically going fucking Old Testament God on everybody. And he says, don't do it. Magnus, by this point, is fucking like, we already fucking know what's good. So fuck them. We're gonna have to save the Imperium on our own. And because
goes fucking rogue.
And then if you read the second book, The False Gods, mm-hmm. you'll know that when they're trying to bring back Horus, Horus is he's talking to the Chaos Gods. Magnus shows up and he says he warns him.
He tries to tell him don't do this.
Don't fucking do this. I understand you're gonna have to die, but don't do this. Fucking Horus does what he does.
The Horus gonna do what he do, yeah.
Fucking Magnus does this whole thing, tries to warn the Emperor. The Emperor is like, what the fuck did you do? Well, it's because he just told you not to do this thing.
Because I guess the reason behind that was he's like, I'm not gonna make it fast enough by flying to Terra and telling him. He's like, I can do it fucking with my psychic powers.
Exactly. With my man.
So he tries to talk to the Emperor. I guess hits the Emperor's webway they was making.
Yes.
And that's when
the Emperor is like, you literally just fucked everything up. Like, I had a plan. You were going to be key to it. And you fucked it up. Thanks a lot, asshole. Russ, go get him. And he...
Well, I mean, in fairness, he just told Russ, just bring him back over here. You have to fucking slap his hand again. Uh-huh. You have to take him over my fucking knee and slap his ass redder.
He could not do that. Because the Council of Nicaea was specifically to, quell any thoughts for, the normal people, for humans. To be like, look, we're a unified front. We understand that you may think that they're fucking warlocks, that they're sorcerers, but we're going to put this to rest. And then he spoke. He's like, this is my rule. So he cannot get Magnus back and not do something about it. He can't not fucking, at least imprison him somehow. Okay. Because there's no way that he would just say, just go get him, and then we're just going to bring him back, I'm going to slap his hand, I'm going to let him go. He can't let him go anymore.
Well, he's the Emperor. He can do whatever he wants.
Not necessarily. Because his whole thing is trying to keep humanity together. And if they see him, choosing, his son, It's fucking, there he goes again, fucking Warlock fucked up, and now this happens.
It's like old drunk Ted Kennedy again.
Exactly.
Up to his wacky hijinks.
But, again,
Okay.
like you said, Russell's just supposed to retrieve him and come back.
So, if anything, Horace did him kind of a favor in some ways.
Explain.
I would say he did him a favor by telling Russ, like, tell him go fucking kill Magnus. He's like, if he kills fucking Magnus, whatever. But if he doesn't, I got a fucking ally that he might escape and then, join me. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean...
I think he kind of thought it out a bit.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
Because during the whole burning of Prospero, Magnus was like, I fucked up. I fucked up bad. I deserve what's coming to me.
Yep.
Whatever Dad's going to do to me, I fucking deserve this. And that's when Airman was like, no, we got to fucking fight, bitch. We got to fight them back. They're trying to kill us. He's like, no. I did wrong.
Yeah.
I got to go face Daddy.
Yeah.
But then it wasn't until like way later when you just saw, fucking everyone just dying and shit.
Yeah.
I think Airman went back a couple times to fucking like, you go, fuck face for a bit, come back and be like, hey man, we need your help. And he's like, no. He's like, fuck, god damn it.
Yeah. You know what it sounds like?
Huh?
Have you ever seen that commercial where the kids explain to the parents that he got in a car accident?
No.
No?
Okay.
There's this commercial where the kid comes in, he's talking to his parents, he's like, look, I know we have insurance, I messed up, but I know I'm gonna get in trouble, and he's like, I'm ready for the consequences, like, okay, no car for you. He's like, okay, and he just walks away. I was like, this is what it sounds like. It sounds like the dude messed up.
Yeah, he kind of knew what happened, but at one point, he just fucking snapped and he's like, I gotta fucking fight.
Yeah.
I eventually gotta fight, and I think that's where...
Towards the end of the book, he does have to fight Lehman, and they have...
I think at one point, Airman was about to tell some dude who trained under him from the Space Wolves, like a librarian, I think he was about to tell him that Horus went traitor. He was like, maybe that could have stopped it. But then I think Airman just kind of fucking freaked out and just fucking killed him telepathically.
No, the whole thing was that Magnus had told Airman, like, take this rune priest, who is basically a librarian just like us.
Yeah.
Go ahead and teach him our ways, because if we can get the Space Wolves that automatically are not that fucking hate us, if we can get them on our side, then we're done. We're fucking golden, baby. So that's why they formed a friendship.
Yeah.
And at the Council of Nicaea, he was one of the witnesses to prosecute Magnus, and like told everybody that they're fucking sorcerers. And then that was it. Like, they fucking didn't like his ass anymore. So when Ahriman was fighting him, he basically like revealed the truth. It was kind of a cheesy part, but I'm all for cheese.
Okay.
Ahriman tells him, like, you're using the fucking warp right now. And he goes, no, it's been fortified by Fenris. And he goes, are you fucking stupid? We're not on Fenris.
Yeah. And
then he goes like, what? And he fucking like snaps, and he basically like kills himself. He fucking, like, his head explodes. And then it's just done. Like, Arm is just like, fuck it, let's go. Anybody that's not fucking flesh changed, let's go. We gotta fucking start fucking shit up. And that's when Magnus appears. So it's a really, really good book. There's like little cool things that are happening all throughout the book. It's just that anybody that thinks that Magnus did nothing wrong is they're wrong. Because it was his pride that he was the smartest ever that doomed that whole legion.
He just sounds misunderstood.
He's not misunderstood.
I can see Tony.
Oh yeah, he's a total Magnus supporter.
I can see him. He's misunderstood. I mean, he tried to redeem himself, but it was at the wrong time.
In fairness, I think a good majority of the Primarchs didn't kind of like him.
Yeah.
Of course, he got along with the ones that did have war powers and shit. But then again, I mean, I think.
But he didn't get along with Mortarion, and Mortarion was just as fucking bad.
Mortarion smelled like shit.
Yeah, but Mortarion hates sorcerers, and that's why he hates Magnus. Because his planet that he was on was controlled by sorcerers until he was like of age where he can just go fucking fuckface.
Like, you listen to this from the outside, he's like, okay, he went in prideful, messed up, And he's like, oh, damn, I messed up. Try to redeem himself, but turns out with his actions, messed up everything. He's like, okay, I'll suffer my consequences. And his dad is like, you know what? He's my son. Go get him. He needs to learn a lesson. He's like,
I think
here.
I always thought that was the case, but
yeah.
oh well. Then after that, he went to chaos.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's the whole thing. Is like his pride got in the way, and he assumed that just because the Emperor taught him everything that Magnus knows, that Magnus was smarter than the Emperor.
Yeah.
When it was just like, the Emperor was like, bitch, I only showed you what you needed to know, and that was it. But then everybody says, like, oh, well, why didn't you tell him about chaos? And then it goes to a fucking circle, and I'm not into going with that. So that ends our lore segment. We're going to get into our main topic with the GT. But before we do, I had made a deal with Mark here. I bought a Forge main box. I gave him the Skitarii.
Rangers Vanguard with the Dominus.
Yeah, so I gave him all that.
And then I got my own Forge main box, so I have more Rangers and Vanguards. Now I have like 3 Dominuses. Now I don't really need. I have one painted up already, but
So
Are they good trade fodder?
no. I originally when I first got into the game, I got into it because I liked how the Mechanicus looked. At first, I was dancing around the idea, but it's Trent who pushed me, gave me that little extra push to reassure me that I did like this. Because I was like, I like the Mechanicus, I like how they look, but they're steampunk, and steampunk's gay. And then wait, and then Trent's like, no, steampunk's not gay. It's actually cool. It's the people who like steampunk that put fucking gauges and cogs on your hat and goggles all the time that makes no fucking sense. They're the one they're the ones that make steampunk terrible. And I stopped and I was like, my God, he's fucking right. So originally the Mechanicus was supposed to be my first army to build. I did paint a good majority of them, and I was telling Roman the Mechanicus are basically like, you know how everyone makes custom chapters. Basically, the Mechanicus are equal to that. They're my fanfic army.
Okay.
So I haven't got a chance to get to it because the colors I chose. It's a lot more detailed painting than
you first thought.
Yeah, in my head it looks cool, but then when you get down to it, it's just like, damn, it's a lot of fucking work.
Steampunk will get you to that. That's the reason I stopped painting the doors.
Wow.
I looked at them. I was like, "Oh man, I could do this real quick." I started building, and then John's like, "You know what? You should build the one you should paint the one you already built, so you can get to it more." And I was like, "Okay." So I started painting one of the cogs, and I realized there's a whole bunch of cogs, and then you have to go into more detail. And I was like, "I quit."
Yeah.
I give them all
But
my doors.
that's the thing is, you fucking quit after like a quarter of a model.
I gave it a good shot.
You did not.
I built 3 of the little models that came in the starter box.
I built one of them for
Yeah.
you, and I had fun doing that.
If it wasn't until that dude with the giant harpoon where I couldn't get the harpoon to stick,
Yeah, he couldn't.
I got frustrated.
The double hand stuff, he couldn't line it up right.
Yeah.
Because I wanted the hands to connect, like, to look pretty.
And you just
I kept doing it. And
you measured wrong, and you with the plastic glue. It's basically like in anything when you build, you measure twice, and then you cut.
The thing is, I don't have a steady hand, so it kept moving. I was like, I know how to fix this. Just add more glue. And I added more glue, and it just started looking like blobby.
Yeah, you added more plastic glue.
And then suddenly he had a big old like bulge on his wrist, and I was like, oh, this does not look nice at all. So after I go and I looked at everybody else that I had to build, and there was 2 more that had like a 2-handed weapon, and I was like, I'm not gonna get this.
I got one of them for you at least.
And I'll go, hey John, build them for me. And I go, hey, can you paint them? And John's like, I don't paint. I was like, man, if you're gonna paint them, I'm pretty sure Rome's busy painting. Like, I'm never gonna play this army either. So I go, you could have it. Find someone. Then I opened my Grey Knights, and I started looking at them. And was like, I could do this, and I just didn't mess with it.
Well, Space Marines are a lot easier than I'd say dwarves. The Caradron overlords are very small.
Yeah, they're small.
So you saw the Grey Knights. You know that they're a little bit bigger, so it should be easier to put together. Yeah. So don't get discouraged and give up after fucking one.
attempt.
Yeah, just keep trying.
Yeah.
I've been trying to play Warhammer for a while now. I just borrowed
Dog,
John's Necron's army when I can.
Yeah, if you can play another army. Yeah. But I was saying, like, a year ago, Mechanica stuff, he gave me basically these things because I still kind of like them. I still want to build them. But
the models look cool.
But the agreement was he gives me the troops and he gives me the Dominus. I have to get a game in this month. I think we're planned for still technically this month. Or is it the beginning of next month?
Yeah, we're trying for when you hear this.
It was gonna be
the Monday after you hear.
Yeah, if you weren't working, it was gonna be tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be basically the Monday after.
Yeah.
So
we're cutting it close. I think it's the 30th.
It's the 30th. Yeah.
I think it's the 30th. So we're still in April.
Yeah.
As long as you can get a 500-point game in.
It's all good. I had to basically forego my whole anal retentiveness of everything needs to be painted. So the army list it's super bare bones. I don't think anyone has any types of upgrades to them, and when I think about it, it's not very a good list, but it's just something just to get there. And even the Terminators I'm going to use because it's a patrol detachment.
Yes,
it's a patrol detachment. And it's going to have, from a HQ, the Chaplain and Terminator armor, the one you saw. After that, he will be accompanied with 5 Terminators, just real heavy. You think the heavy bolter ones?
Stormbolter.
Stormbolters. Yeah. Stormbolters on them.
Power fists.
No, yeah, Stormbolter, Power Fist, and then the sergeant's going to have. I believe there's a sword and Stormbolter on him.
A power sword and Stormbolter?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a standard loadout.
It's just standard loadout. And after that, I'll have a 5 regular troops with me. All with just regular bolters. The Sarge will probably have just regular... He'll have a bolter with a chain sword. And there will be... The dedicated transport will be a Razorback.
Is it going to have the heavy bolter?
It's going to have the twin heavy bolters on the top, and then maybe the little side gunner dude.
All right, fair enough.
So that got me like close to 500s, like 490 something, maybe I think.
Okay.
So I mean the whole thing, those Terminators just eat up a lot of the points, and so I really liked the Chaplain Terminator, but he's pretty pricey. Those guys alone, he's pretty pricey. I know this list is not necessarily the best, but you know, it's what I have. And then the Terminators that I have, they're not even yellow; they're painted blue. So I had to forego just like they're painted. There's something I got just as a trade, and I was like, I'll just forget about it. They're just blue.
Forget about it.
Even like I said, the Razorback is just super bare bones, not even neatened up or anything, but it has color on it. I gotta cut corners. It's getting close to over 2 years now.
So when you play a 500-point army, you can't go over?
No.
You can stay under?
Yeah.
And play?
Yes, sir.
Man, I'm surprised how much detail you know about your army, like the guns and stuff. Like, John's been wanting me to play my first game for a while. And like, he was like, what do you want to play? I go, everything Harley Quinn. And then I bought that,
Well, you actually got a game. You got the game in though.
I played before. I played with John's army, but in house. I was supposed to play my first game for the Red Star dudes. I never got in because he told me, hey, what do you want to play as your own? Because I played Necrons and I played his demon army against him. And then he's like, okay. He's like, you see the game is fun. I was like, yeah. And I was looking through all the books and all the pictures he showed me. He's like, what catches your eye? What do you want to build? I go, oh man, the Harlequins look pretty cool because I fell in love with the solitaire.
I can see that with your whole love, kind of like Joker Harley Quinn thing.
And then the sniper dude really caught my eye.
The Death Jester, yeah, he looked cool.
And I go, I want him, and he's like, oh, it should be enough. I go, just tell me what I need to buy to make a first-hand army just to get my game in. He told me the list, and I just bought it, and I had it right. And then later on, that Triumphant came out. I think that's the name of it.
The Triumphant.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, you should really play this. I go, why? Well, you can play with the Harlequins, and they're pretty OP. And I was like, done. So I bought them, and I was like, that's gonna be my first army. It was supposed to be the Harlequins, 3 troops, 1 solitaire, 2 snipers, and 2 sorcerers,
Okay.
plus the triumphant. And I don't know how many points that is. I don't even know what kind of weapons they are. But each time people ask me, hey, man, in Warhammer, like Mikey's like, what would you play? I just tell him all the Harlequins. It's like all of them, yeah, all of them, plus the 3 dudes.
Yeah.
Oh, then I got some ships, some pirate ships for a birthday. And
Oh, like the
it was a pirate ship.
Raiders, I think.
yeah,
Raiders
Oh,
or
and
Reavers.
then they're like bikes and they're other things.
the jet bikes and
I
whatever.
mean, I have all that, and I'm painting it. The only thing that I'm waiting on from John is your regular troops choice, because that's what you're gonna need to fill out a majority of your army. So I need him to change out some of the weapons on their hands, so that they're kitted out properly.
Does that matter though?
Not necessarily.
Say the model has whatever gun or
Yeah.
whatever sword, but can you just go be like, okay, this guy's carrying this weapon?
Yeah,
You-
like
you
it's
can.
in a casual game. Whoever you play with, as long as they're on the understanding of like, oh yeah, he may have like a fucking flamer, but it's I don't have enough dudes for a bolter, so he just has a regular bolter or whatever.
It's easier. The reason I'm telling him to do it is just because it's easier when you're a new player to say like, okay, this is what they have, so that you're not substituting because you might forget. Because I know for like myself, when I first started, I would give all these options to them, and then I'd be like, oh, did I put fuck, and I'd
Yeah.
keep forgetting. So he's just doing that, but once he gets those, I'm gonna paint those up for you because I found out a good way to kind of put that. I have all the decals that I need, or so that you got them.
I think I would be a tournament player. Like once I build an army,
Like a competitive player.
yeah, I would learn the army, and that would be the only thing I haven't built, just that one army. You know how you guys look at like stuff that comes out, or you guys want to explore different kind of armies. I wouldn't do that. I'll be like, this is the army I have, and try to perfect it and know everything of it. But that would be it. No spending money to build a side army. No nothing of that. Isn't that what a tournament player does? When they have their main
No,
army.
a competitive player would probably just choose stuff that's the word I'm looking for. I lost my train of thought.
Well, I mean, competitive just looks at the strongest things that an army has. They'll either go one of two ways. They'll see like the army that is doing the best, and then they'll try to replicate it. Or they'll do this is the army I like. What's the best options I have, and let me try to repeat that over and over.
I think that's what I would do.
Yeah.
This is the army I like.
Which
You guys are the best.
that FHQ that just dropped,
Yeah.
which everyone's probably done to hell by now. That's actually changed a lot of stuff.
That does, and we'll get to that after our little GT list. So,
I'm
have
done.
you have your
my
500
little-
point detachment. I'll make one soon after.
We'll let you know how that goes. How I
Yeah.
got my ass pushed in,
We'll see.
my shit pushed.
I don't think I'll go fucking horde on
Hey,
you.
you might as well. I gotta learn somehow.
No. I'll give you a challenge though. Well, we're gonna get to the GT list. I'm gonna go over mine very quickly because mine's very simple. And even though I'm not going to the GT, this is what I would have taken. So I have a 2,000 point list. It's all Dark Angels. I have one battalion detachment, which is a librarian on bike with a bolt pistol, 4 stave. I have a lieutenant, which is just a regular lieutenant with a mastercrafted bolt gun and a chainsword. I have 3 squads of scouts with sniper rifles. They're all the same. They do not have camel cloaks. I have 1 company ancient with a chainsword. And then I have 2 Hellblaster squads with the plasma incinerators. Then I have an outrider detachment with Ravenwing Talonmaster, Samael, and a Corvex. A Ravenwing Apothecary. 3 Black Knight squads, which are all the same. A Ravenwing Dark Shroud with a heavy bolter, and a Nephilim jet fighter with a twin heavy bolter. And that would have been my list. What I was doing is try to get as much board control as I can with these scout squads. Hellblasters are going to be my gun line towards the back, and my Raven Wing are just going to try to take care of big things, since they have the Assault 2 plasma on their bikes, and they have rerollable charges with Samo, and the Talamaster will help with anything behind cover will not get their cover save.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty straightforward list. The only thing is it kind of would be hard for me to take objectives.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, because if my opponent does it the right way, they will just put their things on the second floor, and my bikes will never be able to get them.
Exactly.
And then my scouts would be shut off the board because they'd have to run to an objective that I had to get. Same thing with Hellblasters. So I would have been kind of screwed there, but I tried to take advantage of my shooting, especially with plasma, and with the weapons of the Dark Age and things like that. My little stratagems to help me with those plasma. So that was the point of my list. Now John's is a little bit of a tough one, but he comes in at 1995. He has, for his first one, which I believe it looks to be a battalion. So it is a change caster with the boon of change and flickering flames. A skull taker for his HQs. For his troops, he has 20. A blob of about 25 bloodletters. He has about 25 pink horrors, 3 Nurgling swarms, and another 3 Nurgling swarms. He has a brigade detachment that has a Chaos Covenant, Covenant of Zinch. For his HQs, he has 2 Malefic Lords, one with Unnatural Vigor and Warp Flux, the other with Creeping Terror, Warp Flux, Renegade Commander with the Plasma Pistol and Power Maw. Since this is a brigade, it has to have 6 troops, and they are Renegade troops, all 10-mans, and pretty much all the same. They have a champion and auto guns, basically. So, pretty simple there.
I got you.
He did not... here we go. For his elites, he has he has 3 elites, Renegade Marauder squads. I don't know exactly what they are, but it has a Marauder Chief, 2 Marauders with auto guns, a special weapon, and with a something else. I can't read. His fast attack is a Scout Sentinel, and 3 Scout Sentinels. I'm sorry. For his 3 heavy supports, he has Renegade Heavy Weapon Squads. And then, for his last one, I believe it's just a super heavy. Or not super heavy, but the heavy version of that detachment. It is a Chaos Lord and 3 5-man Havoc squads. So, they are Alpha Legion, so they're -1 to hit. Let's see what he has here. Scout Sentinels have Scout Vehicles, so they can deploy 9 inches. They have Heavy Flamers and Sentinel Chainsaw. Okay, so this is what he says about his list. So the big hammer is the Bloodletters and Pink Horror Bombs. Heralds run with them to up their strength. The Nurglings can be deployed anywhere outside of enemy deployment zone and 9 inches away from enemy models, so they can deploy onto objectives or be placed to block enemy deep strikers. The Traitor Guard is the command point battery that fuels my deep striking demons. The elites have snipers, the fast attacks have scout and heavy flamers. The heavy has mortars with 3d6 shots per unit, plus 60 cultists for board coverage. The Alpha Legion Havocs are all armed with rocket launchers, which can spread fire on blobs or fire a single shot on big shit. And then we got into a little thing about detachments and the soup armies and all that. Didn't understand it at first, but I read it. So that is his list.
You should have gone with Necrons, John. I think Necrons would have been more better. And then the cultists. He does love his cultists and demons. So.
That's right.
He does.
This Necron suck. Let's see. Well, that's pretty much the GT list. I'm pretty bummed that I couldn't go. Hopefully, I'm trying to see if possibly I can at least get the Friday so that I can do the 2v2 because I would really like to do that. But we'll see. But it's not looking so hot right now. But well, I guess we'll go into the big FAQ because that's another big thing that did happen this week. So, the beta rules for the psychic focus and the targeting characters have now gone into effect.
So apparently all the FAQs from the last beta are now into effect now.
Yes. With the psychic, they're doing the beta rules where if you try to smite... you can only cast one power per turn.
Yes.
Right? Except for smite.
Smite became like a big smite spam where it just got super annoying.
Yeah,
which I was trying to play.
Yeah.
Just everything. I was making a psychic list where I just smite.
Yeah, so they tried fixing that where they give an extra tax penalty to it. Not penalty, but just like an extra tax to it. So it was a warp charge 5 for first smite.
Yeah, your first warp charge is always going to be smite. Your first smite is always going to be 5+.
Yeah.
If you cast it again with another psyker, it would be +1, so now it would be 6.
Yeah.
If you try to cast it with a third librarian or anything, it would be 7. So it would it would just add 1 to whatever is going on. And so it would just keep taxing 1, and it would be cumulative. It just keep going.
But
make it harder to smite people.
Yeah.
Yes, and because of this would also affect Grey Knights.
No,
and
technically it doesn't affect Grey Knights or Thousand Sons.
Now, but before.
Before,
and they can only smite cast smite on 1 dice instead of 2.
Mm-hmm.
So effectively, they can only do it once or 2 times, really.
Well, I don't think they get the tax though.
Now they don't.
Oh,
before
okay.
they did.
Okay, I got you.
When it was just the beta rule, they would be taxed as well. The biggest change to this is now if you're a Brotherhood of Psyker, or if you have the Brotherhood of Sorcerer, which is the Thousand Sons and the Grey Knights, you do not have that penalty anymore. They'll cast Smite on a 5+ no matter what.
Yeah.
So, and it's right because they're psychic armies. So that's good. When it comes to the targeting characters, that has now been in effect. You can't guard characters with other characters.
I remember talking about that on a list like way earlier in the podcast, where they were using it in competitive. They would like put a pretty badass character and kind of just spam them, and they would have like a medic. After that boy got fucking shot up to hell, they would send homeboy up in the front, and you would have to target the first character or whatever, and you couldn't target the other dude. And they would heal that. Yeah, they would heal the other guy in the back, and they would just keep repeating that.
Yeah.
He told me about that. He told me about how you had an army with a whole bunch of little, I don't know if they're humans or whatever.
Yeah, they're the assassins.
You would span them in front, and you have the big dudes just killing everything, and they're like, you can't get to that big dude until you finish the army of.
And those dudes were hard to hit.
Yeah.
Mortars.
So the targeting character says an enemy character with a wound characteristic of less than 10 can only be chosen as a target in the shooting phase if it is both visible to the firing model and it is the closest enemy unit to the firing model. Mm-hmm. Ignore other enemy characters with a wound characteristic of less than 10 when determining if the target is the closest enemy unit in the following model. This means that if any other enemy units other than characters with a wound characteristic of less than 10 are chosen, whether they are visible or not, then the enemy character cannot be targeted. So they would hide, somebody behind cover, and they'd say, he's technically the closest, so you can't target the one that's out in the open because he's the closest.
Yeah.
They're just saying he has to as well be visible, so he can now declare him as a target. So that's cool. Those are now rules. They're trying out some beta rules with tactical reserves. You can only deep strike. I mean, there's no universal deep strike, but the deep strike type.
this one's been a pretty big,
It has, but
especially with a lot of Grey Knights.
Mm-hmm.
Grey Knights special. The most I've heard backlash from have been fucking Grey Knights.
yeah, it's because they, instead of deploying 9 inches on your first turn, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
First turn, you have to deploy within your deployment zone, which is usually that 12-inch board edge. You could only do that on your first turn. So on your second turn, you can place them wherever you want.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just,
and you can deep strike.
but again, it causes a lot of problems for things. I guess they're trying to mitigate like.
Those alpha. I was listening to some dude. I guess he's like. I guess they call it alpha strike.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like big dudes fucking come in and just tear through your guys first turn.
Yeah, like Blood Angels with their jump packs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to mitigate that kind of stuff.
That stuff. I know John was on and on about chaos, his demons not being able to get into there.
Yeah.
The one thing I've heard some people say, the Grey Knight one, I can kind of maybe see because apparently like you're paying extra just to get that.
Yeah.
Like they're elite models, and one of the things they do besides just having psychic powers, they just come in and they fucking deep strike. That's kind of what they do.
Yeah.
And since you're paying all this extra points for them to do that, it's kind of dumb for you to say like, "Oh, you can't do that." Once
Yeah.
again, I think these are just beta rules, so I mean,
Yeah, of
they'll
course.
eventually fix that.
Yeah.
And people are treating this like this is the fucking end of the world.
Yeah, they'll eventually find a way to fix it. Again, that's why it's a beta rule. It's supposed to be tested by the community. They'll take our feedback and then they'll kind of say, okay, we got to rework this a little bit. So
Yeah.
I understand right now it's a bit frustrating, but try it out. Try out different tactics and see what happens.
I think I like the one where this guy's like, well, then don't try to deep strike. Try a different thing. And they hit you with that fucking Bear Grylls meme. It's like, adapt, overcome.
Exactly. Just fucking adapt to what it is. Like,
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. Try it. Okay, if it doesn't work, try something else. If you're just not having fun, then make it known. But don't be a dick about what you're saying.
Well.
Make sure that it's something that they can actually see and digest and make a ruling on this. Don't just be like, you fucked me with this thing. Just come on. Be
And
fucking nice
even
about
at that, when guys were trying to discuss about the deep striking rule, some dudes were fucking being like real dicks about it.
Yeah.
Like there was no like the guy was asking like, well, what are my other options then? And one guy's like, just fucking quit being a little bitch about it and just do something. I'm like, hey. All right, the guy asked nicely. He was not like,
exactly.
fucking GW. If somebody just like, fucking GW, suck my dick, I fucking pay money, they need to fucking abide by what I'm doing. And then you treat the guy like shit. If the guy's like, well, then what are other things I should do, guys? And one guy's like, quit being a bitch.
Yeah, it's just like, give a person actual feedback.
Yeah.
Sounds like a nerd community, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
These communities are rarely helpful. More about talking shit to you.
No, the internet can be...
Yeah, internet is dick.
The internet is overall a dickhead.
Yeah.
There's always going to be people that are just trolling you or just like trying to get under your skin.
Yeah, but that's not the way it is. Like for every, say, 30 responses you get, 10 of them are going to be sincere, helpful statements. 20 of them will be like, yeah, stop being a bitch, quit the game, or, wah wah.
Yeah.
But out of those 10, you actually get some helpful points. You just
that's why I do like the Red Star Facebook group and all that.
Those guys tend to be pretty helpful.
Yeah, and when things get out of hand with shit, they're on it. They're like, no, we're deleting this post. It's ridiculous. So they have their fun. They curse like sailors. They have a lot of fun, but
it's
they know when to draw the line.
It's that fucking thing with that hockey guy is like, well, you got to be mad. It's just games. Love that guy.
Another one of the beta rules is Battle Brothers. Basically just trying to...
it's the death of soup.
Yeah, it's pretty much banning soup lists, which you just have to make it a clean detachment and another clean detachment and another clean detachment. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
What else did they put? They actually have Samarada. honestly, Alice Errata's kind of boring, so I'm not gonna go over it. One of the things was that's errata is battalions are now 3 command points to 5, and the same thing for brigade. It goes from 9 to 12.
Which just kind of giving everyone more command points to kind of
Exactly.
trigger. One guy brought up something where he said, it's cool. I get what they're trying to do. You know, they're trying to get more people to have a little more fun, especially with like elites, like, you know, Grey Knights. If you're playing a pure fucking custodes, you're not going to get a lot of, you know, you're not going to get a lot of command points.
Yeah.
So you're not really going to get to try a lot of stuff. It's cool for that. He's like, but I can see it being very. I can see people in the competitive way taking this way out of hand, like the Drukari thing, the Dark Eldar stuff. How they have that for 3 command points, you could just shut down.
the stratagem.
Now with these extra command points, you're getting some more command points out of this. You could probably have this game. You can probably have that stratagem popping off maybe like 3 or 4 times mid game, and that would not be very fun.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's kind of just like that chess strategy. It's just you first of all you have to play it.
Yeah.
Like theory can only take you so far.
Yeah.
Theory hammer can only take you so far. So you have to be able to play it, and if it actually shows up to be a problem, then address it. But you know, shutting down a stratagem here or there, and I doubt they'll be doing it like back. And if they do it back to back, then they're done. They're out.
I think the one thing was like the stratagems were there for, you know, strategic purpose. It kind of takes out strategic when you can just kind of keep popping off combos multiple times in a session.
If I was able to just do like
you know, like you had your fucking game changer that you probably maybe got to use if you did it right, maybe twice in a game. Now you could do this maybe like
fucking 4 times.
4 times, 5 times if you really squeeze in some guys in there.
Yeah, and then just fucking. Yeah, I can see it, but again, theory hammer, we'll see.
Yeah,
We're
I mean,
gonna have to play it.
Like I said, overall, that's just kind of a contrast because most of the stuff people were like, "Oh, that's cool," more extra crap to, you know, play around with.
Yeah.
For casual, I don't see that being a very big problem. But
No,
competitive wise, I mean, you know, any little thing can be now, be abused.
So they actually are doing some organized play, and they did some things with data sheets and detachments. So a point limit up to 1,000 is up to 2 detachments and up to 2 data sheets of the same. So basically, they're putting a kind of tax on data sheets, where you can't spam the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah.
Even on different detachments. So on a 1,001 to 2,000 point game, which is usually what people play, it's up to 3 detachments and up to 3 of any data sheets.
Yeah.
So that means that like I can't take 3 Terminators in one detachment, 3 Terminators in another, 3 in another. It's just you can only use it 3 times.
Yeah.
So, and I think again it's still beta, so try it out, see if it's good.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool because it eliminates a lot of spam.
Yeah. I think it does eliminate a lot of spam. I think Hive Tyrants was a pretty bad one.
Yeah, that's what won Adepticon. It was like 7 Hive Tyrants and just little things here or there, so it just became a big problem.
The only thing that's excluded from that, though, is you can span troops and dedicated transports. So that means still, like, Imperial Guard guys are still good. You got, I think, was it Drukari? It was like Venithropes or something like that. Not Venithropes, Venoms or whatever for Dark Eldar.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy, as he pointed out, was you can probably, you shut down some spam, but you probably have a chance to do more spam. I think he was like saying like Lehman Russes that you could take maybe like 9 Lehman Russes because you could still put them in a unit, but then they could still separate out.
But wouldn't that just be 9 data sheets though? Because it's still.
I think I forgot.
Unless
I gotta re-go through that because I'm not Imperial Guard, but I forgot. I think it was the Lehman Russ tanks. Like you could take them. It's kind of like when you take a troop in there. You could take like a certain amount of troop, and then you could separate them.
Yeah.
But even though you put them in that data sheet as one troop, like 10 dudes, but then you could separate them into 2 units of 5. I think you could do that with the Lehman Russes.
Okay, well we'll see if that's going to be a thing. But Demon wrestlers are. I don't know what their points are. Are they expensive?
Maybe.
We'll actually see. But they also did some points adjustments for the Astra Militarum. For IG, Commissars are 15 points. Lord Commissars are 30. Sly Marbo is 65. For Chaos Demons, they put the Feculent Gnarlmaw at 85. For Craft World units, Dark Reapers are now 12 points model. Farseer is 110. Spirit Seer 65. Warlock 55. Warlock Conclave is 45. My Ravenwing, my Dark Angels, the Ravenwing Dark Talon is now 180 because 160 was super undercosted for what it did.
Mm-hmm.
Reboot Gilliman is now 400 points.
So they boosted him up to Magnus Mortarion level.
Yeah. Tyrants, Balvors are 50 points. Hive Tyrants with Wings, 190 points now. Ooh. So nearly 200 points for your Tyrants now.
Yeah, they're really trying to cut out that.
Yeah. Adeptus Astartes, Fire Raptor gunships are now 280. Death Corps of Kree, the Commissars are 15. The Death Corps Death Rider Commissar is 35, and the Earring Colts Chaos Fire Raptor Assault Gunship is 280. Okay, so that's pretty much all that was in the FAQ. Go ahead and check it out at the Warhammer community sites. I believe that's all we're going to cover today. I think we covered it all. Besides, we're going to close it out with some news. We do not have any comments, but you can put your comments down below in youtube.com/Grimworks on this show specifically, or if you're listening to on any other podcast providers like iTunes or anything else, go ahead and send us an email at citypod88@gmail.com, and in the subject, go ahead and put Warhammer or 40k, something regarding that, so you know it's for the show. So we're gonna round out with some news.
Okay.
Fucking CLs are back, baby. Ideneth. Yeah, Ideneth, Deepkin. They are a new AOS army. They're super sweet.
They look cool. I think I'm picking them up. There's a lord. There's a lord that has
as he said earlier, I'm fucking done with this game.
I was done with the
dwarves.
The doors, the thing.
With the dwarves.
But John's building. I'm still gonna play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't have a show and not be part of it. It's just some of the things are frustrating.
Yeah.
But these pirate elves look pretty cool. There's a lord with an octopus on it.
You really see him as pirates, because we were talking about this off air.
Yeah.
And I have my problem with pirates.
Have you seen Pirates of the Caribbean?
No.
No, none of you.
Not really. No. I saw the first one.
Oh.
Yeah, me too.
No, the Davy Jones pirates.
No.
That's what they look like. They look like they're underground underwater sea pirates. They have like sea life all over them. Some are riding like seahorses and little krakens and.
But they don't have like any like.
That sounds like an Aquaman wet dream.
Exactly.
But my thing is like they don't have any pirate motifs like on anything.
They have boats.
Yeah, but like that's a boat. Like that's not a pirate thing. That's just
they have the swords.
I did see that pirate. I did see the. You say pirate boat. I did see that wrecked boat. I was like, damn, look fucking sweet as fuck. But I have no point of getting
they're
it.
more like Atlantis those.
Yeah, that's basically what they are.
But yeah, they're CLs. Their main troops are blind, which I thought was really cool. They have no like eyes.
Okay. That's why half their eyes were just painted white.
Yeah,
okay.
that's why it's just like a little bit of things.
I do like the lore of them. They're coming out of a fucking out of a demon.
Yeah, all elves are. Yeah, all elves are coming out of Slaanesh, because Slaanesh ate them at the end.
Oh, and it's just fucking
at the end times of Warhammer. Basically, like fucking everybody took souls, and fucking Slaanesh like ate all the elves, and then just like flew away and has been in seclusion ever since. And that's why the what are they called? The snake ladies.
Oh, Fulgrim babies.
Yeah, Fulgrim babies. They're they come out of Slaanesh. Like their whole thing is like Marathi. I remember her name for some reason. Marathi, she actually like climbs out of Slaanesh's mouth and like goes away and she's able to like rebuild her society. It's the same thing with these guys. They came out of Selesh and they were just like underwater and they adapted to that life.
Yeah, some brothers are taking them out. Tyrion and Tislis.
Yeah, they're those two big fucking things. Apparently, those models are like fucking big. They're bigger than the.
I saw the turtle.
Stormcast.
I saw the turtle
and
model.
Morathi?
Yeah, I saw the big ass turtle thing.
And these
Marathi.
are weird ass names.
Marathi.
But they look really cool. I
Yeah.
actually wouldn't mind picking them up.
Yeah, I've that's one of the armies that I've been debating. Like I've been telling Mark and John on past episodes. I'm thinking about chucking my dinosaurs and going to them because I like turtles and shit. So I don't know. But
Because for the longest time in Age of Sigmar, I wanted to play the Dwarfs with some of the special units of the Tree Folks. Because I think they're the only ones John told me that could go together. But I was like, they're good. They look pretty cool. But they weren't captivating. These things are cool. Again, Atlantean pirates. That's what I'm calling them.
the Ideneth Deakin Codex is out along with the troops and the big dude, their like master that's coming out of the water with that fucking water cloak. Looks fucking sweet. That's a big ass model. And then the Drukari book actually came out, so
Yes.
it was finally released while while we were taking a break from the episodes. So that's pretty
Never
much.
mind. They're not Atlantean pirates.
Yeah, that's what I said. Come on, man.
They take down pirate ships.
Yeah,
They look cool though.
they do look cool. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's been out as of yet. There hasn't really been much else that I remember. The Shadespire stuff came out, the last of the Shadespire stuff, and that was pretty much it. So, is there anything else that you want to say before we close this out, boys?
Thank you for listening.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks for listening, Trent. I'm sure you'll have something to yell about this episode.
Yes, please.
Yeah. You
But
can always join our social media, guys. They have the Twitters, the Facebooks, and the Instagram. Just look for Grimworks. Sometimes I put up 40K stuff. As long as they give me pictures of their models that they're going, I like plastering them out there.
Alright.
Or finding other pretty cool. Like that, the one, I know you guys just ended your league, and the best paying one, and he had rose petals.
Yeah.
On his models, they look really cool.
yeah, he had like the cherry blossoms painted on his Eldar.
Those are hand painted, right? You have to,
Yes.
because they don't add little stickers for that.
I remember talking to him. His name is Kenneth. Kenneth, if you listen to him, he's part of Red Star. He hand paints everything. So like
the dedication was.
he
Goddamn, they look really pretty.
yeah.
And the way he sent the pictures of the whole cherry blossom thing, woo! I was like, man, this is the first time I'd be like, I should put some time into it. They look that cool. Then I remember I don't have that on the talent, so I was like, I admire from the outside.
Yeah, I knew from the get go that guy was gonna win Best Painted in the league just because he put in a lot of effort into that. Not saying anybody else didn't, but
Oh, that's some pretty cool stuff.
clearly you can see that he put a lot of stuff. And he is an artist by trade, so he knows different techniques to
There
get that
was another
stuff
dude
on.
that I really like his stuff. That was the guy playing the Purple Harlequins. They're really cool.
Cool.
Oh yeah, before we ended, anybody that joined the league, thanks.
Yes, thank you.
I hope you enjoyed it. We're gonna try to do another one after the Age of Sigmar stuff is done.
Yes. So what's been going on with that is that the Mortival Weekly 2 Escalation League is done. And thanks for everybody, as Tony said, for participating. We hope to start one after AOS. Mike Blanton will be posting stuff probably on the Red Star. If anybody that doesn't listen to this but is in the San Antonio area that isn't a part of Red Star, and you listen to this, go ahead and check out Facebook. Go check out Red Star, see if they have something there. They do have an open group and a members only group, so you can always look into that one and get filled in on some stuff there. But Mike Lant's going to start his AOS League, and then we'll most likely start Mortival 3. Now, the thing is, it got a little sloppy towards the end. John will attest to saying that it got a little bit sloppy towards the end.
Because he was lost. He was overwhelmed to begin with.
Exactly. It's a lot for him to just take on. So in Mortival 3, I will be helping him out to make sure that everything goes a little more smoothly for him and make sure everything goes on time.
Yeah, he got overwhelmed by the daily stuff.
Yes.
Like, I was helping him, but I don't know much about Warhammer.
Yeah.
So I was, like, in charge of, like, prizes and stuff like that. and he was in charge of pairing, and John gets lazy when he has to do stuff
Yeah.
on Facebook. Does not taking pictures.
Yeah. So I'll be helping him out so that we smooth it all out, and Mortal 3 is like fucking butter on your fucking French bread. But either way, thank you for listening to Perils of the Warp, number 16. I've been your host, Roman, and to my right.
Lost Primarch Steve.
All right, and our special guest.
Tony, wouldn't it be cool? There's a permanent Steve out there.
You could. I mean, there's two of them that are.
He's in the
that don't
war
know.
somewhere.
It's the 2nd Legion or the 11th or something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that. Either way.
The flesh is weak.
I like that. The flesh is weak.
Yeah.
I don't know where else to end it. Later, dudes.